Shalom Israel. Just some daily meds, right? So just on the top of my mind is the difference between past, present, and the future, right? So I'm just gonna be doing some brain dumping, right? Because every day we think about stuff, ponder about stuff, we look on different stuff, right? Not realizing that we are stumbling so much in the past, stumbling so much in the future, to the point that we forget the present moment, right? Being in the present moment is a is such a blessing because you're not worried about what's on your left, what's on your right, what's in front of you, what's behind you, right? You're just focused on in what's in the moment, right? That could be, and in order to do that, you have to have gratitude. See, gratitude is to be appreciative of what you have and what you can do, what is within your control, right? Now, there's some things that we can talk about, right? So, if we are in the present moment, the future will still come, right? So, what can we do about it, right? Well, the thing we can do is walk slowly, right? I'm speaking in general. So when you are walking slowly towards the future, towards positive, right? We have to have I actually said it, we have to have a positive mindset, right? The what ifs, right? The what if our future mindset is what if it goes wrong? What if it goes bad? What if it goes south, right? That's not a good movement, or that's not a good motion, right? Motion kills emotion, right? Motion stops emotions, right? Keep that in mind. But if our movement towards the future, starting from the present moment, is to have a mindset of positive thinking, which is what if it works? What if it goes well? Right? What if it gets better? Right? That's a good mindset in this walk because you will encounter um, downfalls, right? You're gonna make mistakes, right? And you need to bounce back on that, right? And every move and every chess piece move that you do, you will always um, it's inevitable to encounter a problem, right? But in dealing or in facing that problem, a good mindset is to have a positive mindset. The mindset of, and I'm quoting, what if it works? What if it goes well? Right? And that shows your faith, right? You believe that something will go well, something will go forward, something will be positive, right? And that's a good mindset when you are, of course, walking towards the future. Which, of course, it starts first with the present moment, right? So you're just walking and walking. You're so that's the thought that comes into mind, right? Is to focus. Excuse me. Is to have a positive mindset, right? Second is to have a balance, right? Because we will get tempted, we will get distracted, um, we will stumble at some point. And in order to do that, we have to have a balanced or controlled mindset. So going forward, we have to have balance, right? It's the same as um, riding a bicycle, right? You must maintain your balance so that you don't fall to the left or to the right, right? Let's go to Proverbs 4 and to the last verse, right? Proverbs 4 and verse 27. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil, right? Evil can sometimes, well, as far as I can see, is that evil can be confusion, right? You don't want to fall into much confusion or breakdown, or excuse me, yeah, negative breakdown or mental breakdown. So you must move at some point, right? Motion, what? Kills emotion, right? So you gotta be doing something. You gotta get busy with something, right? Let's go to Sirach 33 and 27. Send him to labor, that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. Again, Sirach chapter 33 and verse 27. Send him to labor, that he be not idle, for idleness teaches much evil, right? When you're just letting your life pass through, right, you're going to look for ways, or you're going to look for outlets, right? And when you look for negative outlets, that's the same as going to the left or to the right, right? You're going to smoke, going to do negative things, right? Going to do drugs, and that's not the right path. That's not the way, right? So you gotta get busy with something, right? A hobby, a skill, uh, a craft, right? Important thing is you're moving, or something is developing, right? Oops. So we have, first is to think positive, to have balance, right? Well, the first should be gratitude. Second is balance, right? And I think to add to the same word of balance is temperance, right? If you keep stumbling, if you keep falling, something is what? Breaking, right? If you fall, something will break. If you keep stumbling, something will break, right? If you keep tripping, something will break, right? So it's best to maintain your balance as much as you can, so we can lessen the scars, the mistake, uh, the injuries, right? Let's go to First Corinthians chapter, um, I believe it's 9:25. There it is. First Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it, or the world does it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, right? You want to walk in this way, the proper way, the right way, right? Because if you keep falling and falling, right, that crown is going to get destroyed at some point. You will still get a crown, but it's what? A corruptible crown, right? We want to be sincere in this thing, so we can have that incorruptible crown, right? So we have to have, first is gratitude, second is temperance or balance, next at and the third was diligence. Diligence is just continuous or careful effort, right? So you don't go idle, right? I apologize if my reasoning is a bit messed up. I'm still practicing, right? Because we need to meditate on this one, right? So that our faith can have a good faith. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. Thou mayest what? Observe to do according to all that is written therein. So it's keeping the law, right? Doing what your flesh wants, or lasting or wanting to do what the flesh wants. For example, urges, right? That's not a good thing, right? Therefore, in order to take those down, we have to have delightment in the word. The word is it's the same as water, right? Oops. Husbands, love your wife. Excuse me. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Verse 26, that he might sanctify. Sanctify means to make someone holy or set apart, and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, right? So your flesh will have its lusts or urges, right? You can bring that down by washing it with the word or getting delighted with the word, because it's going to calm you down. You're more getting, excuse me, you're getting delightment or good feeling in the word, in your reasoning, in your, right? The Bible says that ye are the salt of the world. A salt sizzles, right? It's the same, or in other words, it's what? Making sense. Reasoning makes sense, right? So if you're meditating continually in the scriptures or in the words, you're going to make sense because you're always reasoning, right? The trial of man is what is in his reason, right? So in times of, in times of when the flesh is starting to distract you, right? Always wash it with the word, right? Get delightment, do stuff like this, right? And that's the time when you can feel like you're making sense with the word, right? So that's it for today. At the end of the day, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Tawada.